Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is January 3rd, 2024. And I got a cold, so I apologize for sounding like Peter Brady. If you don't know what that reference is, on the show The Brady Bunch, one year Peter Brady on an episode he lost his voice, like laryngitis, and it was the worst acting anyone has ever seen in a sitcom of him faking that his voice was gone. It was so bad that it's became a running joke.
When it's time to change, sha-na-na-na-na. When it's time.
For the longest time, if you misspoke or something like that, some friend would say, "Hey, Peter Brady, you okay over there?" But I am sick again. That's what happens when you have a grandchild in your house. They're little petri dishes. Love her to death, but she gets me sick about once every 2 months. Today is the third day of the year. There are 363 days left in 2024. It is your first Wednesday in your first week and the 14th day of winter. There are 76 days left until spring. Today is National J.R.R. Tolkien Day. I love Lord of the Rings. That's who wrote it. J.R.R. Tolkien. They celebrate this day on his birthday. He is the author of Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and a bunch of other things. I watched the movie that they made about him in 2019. I did not know this, but he was friends with C.S. Lewis, who is famous for writing The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, that whole series. They both wrote a bunch of other stuff, but those are what they're known for. Lord of the Rings is one of maybe 3 books that I've read cover to cover more than once. I should say for leisure reading, not like if I was in school or something. When I was in the Army, there was a few books on the Soviet Union and the KGB that I studied and probably read like 3 times. But today is J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday. It is J.R.R. Tolkien Day. Get one of the books and read it if you never have. All right, let's see what else January 3rd has given us. 1870, the construction work begins on the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. The Brooklyn Bridge, that famous New York City landmark, is more than just a bridge. It is a testament to human smarts and grit. Since it opened in 1883, it's been a vital way to get from Brooklyn to Manhattan, but it's also become a symbol of progress and the never give up attitude of New Yorkers. Let me explain. Back in the 19th century, Brooklyn and New York City were booming. But the only way to hop between them was a ferry. It's really inconvenient if you've ever had to take a ferry every day. So a bunch of New Yorkers got together and they dreamed up a plan for a bridge. And a guy named John A. Roebling had a killer design. Unfortunately, he kicked the bucket before the project took off. His son, Washington Roebling, took over, but he got sick from working in the underwater caissons. So his wife ended up stepping in and taking over, and she ran the show till it was finished. Building the Brooklyn Bridge was no joke. Those massive neo-Gothic towers made of stone and steel were a sight to behold. The bridge cables were like steel giants holding a roadway up. It took a whopping 14 years to finish this engineering marvel, but when it opened on May 24th, 1883, it was a game changer for New York City and Brooklyn. They had a big parade, fireworks, a massive party marked the day. The Brooklyn Bridge quickly became a symbol of progress in the late 1800s. It made life easier by connecting 2 boroughs and even helped New York City expand. People from all over came to see this stunning architecture and couldn't believe what humans had actually achieved. This is one of those first things that, in my opinion, competed with the historic and beautiful architecture of Europe. Through the years, the Brooklyn Bridge has seen all kinds of stuff, from big celebrations to protests, and even some tragic accidents. It's been in books, movies, and pop culture forever, making its mark on the New York City skyline. In a nutshell, the Brooklyn Bridge is a story of folks with big dreams and even bigger determination. From solving a transportation problem to becoming a symbol of New York City's never give up spirit. This bridge isn't just a way to get around. It's some of this country's best work. 1947, proceedings of the U.S. Congress are televised for the first time. 1961, the Cold War. After a series of economic retaliations against one another, the United States severs diplomatic relations with Cuba. 1990, the United States invasion of Panama. Woo, that was a good weekend. Former leader of Panama surrenders to American forces. The invasion started on December 20th and went on till about the end of January, but this is when he finally surrendered. 2009, the first block of the blockchain of the decentralized payment system known as Bitcoin, called the Genesis block, is established by the creator of the system, Satoshi Nakamoto, which I don't even know if that's his real name. I probably just butchered that. Premiered on January 3rd, 2005, Medium. This was a pretty good series. I watched it with my wife for a while. It's based on the life of Alison Dubois. Patricia Arquette plays a medium who works with the district attorney in Phoenix, Arizona to solve crimes. So a psychic solving crimes. Sounds dumb, but it was pretty good. Born on January 3rd, 1996, Florence Pugh. She's an actress who starred in the 2019 film Midsummer and Little Women. She made her film debut in 2014 in the feature film The Falling, and also appeared as Catherine in the 2016 drama Lady Macbeth. She was also recently in Oppenheimer, and she was in The Black Widow. She's a pretty good actress. Seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders. Died on January 3rd, 1967, Jack Ruby, American businessman and murderer. He's the guy that shot Lee Harvey Oswald after he supposedly shot John F. Kennedy. They should have known to keep this guy out of the basement. I mean, most of his friends referred to him as a kook, totally unpredictable. Some people said he was a psycho and that he was suffering from some form of disturbance. Jack Ruby was found guilty and he was sentenced to death. That was later overturned, but he died of an pulmonary embolism 4 years after he shot Lee Harvey Oswald. That whole thing is just shady and weird. I was just in Dallas like 2 months ago and I went to Dealey Plaza. Now, keep in mind, I was in the military and I could shoot a rifle. I looked at the angle and, just the distance in a moving car. No way. I'm the furthest thing from a conspiracy theorist, but that whole thing is weird. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.